All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we've had a nice little, damn, this has been just 24 hours here. Yeah, pretty much just like a nice little 24-hour run right here. Because a couple of days ago I was thinking like, man, like certainly we're gonna get like kind of like a bit of a even like a small content drop or something on like the 9th or 10th, right? So that's like we'd have gotten the easy Ace for Goku and Cooler on the 3rd, we'd have gotten the Dokkan Frontier and Tanabata banner, and then maybe like a super easy A on like the 10th. Like that's kind of like what it was flowing like in my head. But then yesterday, after we didn't get like an announcement in the middle of the night last night, or kind of like 2 days ago, so the 8th, when there wasn't like something revealed at 4 a.m. my time on the 8th, it's like, okay, looks like there's probably not going to be anything until next week. Next week, we know that there is going to be a drop for sure on the 14th. The reason we know this is because they made an error on JP where this announcement is kind of like showing early, right? This has been sitting here, I think, since the Goku and Cooler EZA, when obviously, like, these dates are when it goes live, right? Like, this was on the 7th, this was on the 6th. Well, this shouldn't be here yet, so we know that Battlefield's getting updated on the 14th, probably with LR Lude, is what I would assume, right? Because they're not they're not like, oh, like there's the part 2 of this battlefield or so. Like nothing like that is happening because this is the special battlefield where we fight all the LRs in it. So I think there's a very strong chance we'll see LR Lude in the next day to download, right? Now, summon points. They announced. What's funny is I've got this article right here, or this like thing in the news. This is not the first time that they mentioned that summon point lineups would be updated on July 21st. Even prior to this, they had mentioned that the summon point lineup was going to be updated on July 21st. So we've known for 4 months, 5 months or something like that, that July 21st was going to be the summon point lineup update, which makes sense because when you go through the landing spots of a lot of these guys, it is very close to that date. So that made a ton of sense. Well, Dokkan did, did a funny little thing last night. I think this is funny. This is funny. So here's what happened. So this notice goes out. Last night, I was up last night. I was waiting for the potential information, right? Like here, we just pull this up. I was playing LA Noir, is what I was doing, right? So PlayStation, not only are they getting rid of physical copies, which sucks, but they also announced at the same time, which is going way under the radar because of the fact that they announced they're getting rid of physical. They also announced that they're getting rid of the PS3 and Vita online stores, right? So at the same time that they announced the digital only future, they are killing 2 digital shops. Like it's just, the world we live in is terrible, man. It's just, it is what it is, right? So I've been on a mission to clean up PS3 and Vita stuff, right? I think I might play Batman Arkham Origins next, a game I've never ever touched. And I know there's Mr. Freeze DLC. Well, I have a year to play stuff like that before it goes away forever. So I was cleaning up the PS3 version of LA Noire, and I was like, oh my god, this is one of the best games of all time. And I couldn't help myself, so I actually immediately went into the PS4 version. But I'm closing and I'm finishing it up, and then I gotta get back to PS3. But I couldn't, dude, I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help LA Noire. It was, I'm enjoying it so much. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna knock out the PS4 version right now. Like, just quickly get this done, and then there's a lot of things I want to try. Probably Assassin's Creed, BioShock, Uncharted, like PS3 versions. It's kind of like where I'm at right now, right? But I was playing last night, and I was starting to fall asleep. Like at some of these points, like it's like I'm playing. Like I guess that's just maybe old age or what. But like I was starting to nod off, and this popped up. I was looking at this. I mean, I feel stupid, but again, I was like falling asleep while playing. When there was no info, I did get like a second wind. You guys know what I'm talking about, but I did have a second wind, and I recorded this. That was 9 hours ago, right there. But I was looking at this, and I was just like, I don't know. I just was like, whatever, and like I just really couldn't make sense of it. But this is a very simple notice right here. they're updating, they're changing when the summon point lineup is being updated. No longer is the lineup being updated on the 21st. Now the lineup is being updated on the 29th. That's what's happening. The 29th is when this is going to be updated. So now everything kind of like falls in line real nicely and makes a lot of sense, because it didn't make a ton of sense to me. So here's where I'm talking like, okay, like it looks like there's probably not going to be anything more this week, which, and looks like it's true. And then here I was like, there's nothing part 2 LR on the 21st. Next week should be an easy A plus content week. I think it's now next week is going to be the part 2 LR. We're going over that 1 second. And then in 2 weeks is easy A plus content week. Probably Goku and Vegeta and Metal Cooler LR EZAs, I would imagine. So I've seen a couple of people talking about this, like with the sales and stuff like that. So like I did go back and check for Tanabata 2023 and Tanabata 2024. Sometimes when they update the news like articles in like in kind of like just, my words are failing me, but like they update the news articles, stuff like that. So I went ahead and pulled up my videos from like the day the celebration info is dropped, and we could see right here. So 2023, the 28th is when Full Power Super Saiyan 4 Goku is out, and then 18th sales end, and then on the 20th, 2 days later, is Omega, right? And then right here, this is Tech UI Goku, right? Sales end on the 16th, and then on the 18th is Jiren, right? So it's like the sales right now. Let me actually pull this up quickly. Okay, of course, it's like, all right, let's pull this up quickly, and then it's like, all right, now loading is bad. All right, here, let's head over to this right here, and then, okay, sales end on the 13th. So I'm now, we're adjusting, right? We're following all the information, stuff like that. We're adjusting. I'm now landing on the 15th. Tanabata Part 2 Carnival LR. I think it'll be Cell Max looking at this lineup. Now remember, I do have Gogeta and Omega right here because those are the characters of this time slot. And 2018, they don't have an LR in this time slot, but they have an LR in a time slot that kind of doesn't exist after 2018, which is at the start of August, which was LR Cell plus Cell Juniors. So you could, for 2018, do Cell and Cell Juniors, I guess. And for 2025, you could do Carnival Wrath Broly, the TDC celebration. But I wanted to keep this consistent with the time slot, right? So remember, you could put Wrath Broly right there, and you could put Cell plus Cell Juniors right there. So basically, every single time in the last 8 years, this has been the antagonist, is what we would say here. Because obviously, Jiren is not a villain, but he is the antagonist of the Universe's Rival Saga, right? The main, I mean, I hesitate to say villain. That's why antagonist works, right? So I do think it's gonna be Cell Max. Geppy has been doing some interesting stuff. I mean, this now almost kind of looks like was this a bait? Like, were they fucking with? Oh, I closed it. Why did I close that? Damn it! Hold on. I guess I don't need to close. It's right here, right here. So I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess this was just bait. They were just messing with us. They're toying. Geppy's toying with us. He's toying, like he thinks he's L or Light Yagami or something like that. Okay, Geppy, I see you, man. He's like, all right, 21st. And then we get close. He's like, actually, it's the 29th. Thank you, Geppy. So the 29th should be the next Dokkan Fest, by the way. Which, we have had some bangers in this time slot before. And then remember, GDC is now officially pretty close, by the way. I do think GDC should be starting towards the end of August. If I had a tentative start, I've been missing with these start dates. I mean, they've been close, but right now the kind of like tentative start date I'm looking at for the GDC characters is the 28th of August. And if here's the other thing too is they keep pushing these dates up a little bit. I'm not sure if anyone else is noticing this, but like Beast was, essentially for at least based on the calendar, I was like thinking like the kind of like the release schedule. Beast actually showed up a few days early. on the 27th. I was thinking the 30th for him. He showed up on the 27th. Cell Max is coming a little bit early. And the next Dokkan Fest to me looks like it's coming a little early as well. Because remember, I mean, I don't want to say in the Geppy era they can't, because Beast did release on the weekend, but they usually don't release banners on weekends, right? So usually we'd look at the calendar like this, and the 31st would be the target day of when the character's coming out. But it looks like they're actually coming out on the 29th. Yeah, so they're coming out on this Wednesday. So I mean, that is like, it's just, they're pushing like things a little earlier there, which I think to me makes, again, a lot of sense, that we're, going to be hitting the GDC like right around here. And I'm holding out hope that the 3-part extravaganza GDC is going to be in our future. So, all right, guys. Uh, with them, updating the summon points last night, it all now makes sense, right? So the sales end on the 13th. We'll get the carnival banner on the 15th, right? Because they're not gonna not have sales for like a week or whatever. And then the summon point update is always going to drop with a banner, but it's going to drop just with the next Dokkan Fest rather than the Part 2 Carnival LR for Tanabata. So let me know what you guys think. I will catch y'all next time. Still got a couple of days. The 12th, I would say, is when I'll be on the lookout. Very good chance we maybe could see like a teaser or something like that, like, or a hint, something like that, maybe, beginning to come up here. Again, I think that the release date will probably be the 15th, but we'll see. And we know that there's stuff dropping on the 14th, so maybe the character just comes out on the 14th instead, right? So, like, somewhere in that range, we can expect with this stuff, so we'll be on the lookout. So, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch y'all next time.